What does anxiety feel like? Well, I can answer that. I don't have anxiety, but I can explain what it means. Hi, I'm Ash, and this is the first part of Mental Disorders Explained. First off, please don't use my videos for self-diagnosis. I am not a professional, I'm just here to educate, and I'm interested in psychology. It is a reaction to fear, because your brain is stuck in the survival mode. Everyone has anxiety sometimes, but a person with an actual anxiety disorder feels it more often, more intense, and in situations where a person who doesn't have it would say, "That's such a normal situation. Why aren't you calm?" And with intense, I don't mean just more intense. It can also lead to panic attacks. So no, they're not just scared. That can affect sleep, focus, school, normal just daily life. And to all my people with anxiety disorder out there, you are not weak, you're not overreacting. It's just you. You can't do anything against it. But there's always someone who will accept you. And yeah, that's the end of part 1. Next part will be depression. Depression isn't just being sad, it's much deeper than that. Hi, I'm Ash, and this is part 2 of Mental Disorders Explained. First off, please don't use my videos for self-diagnosis. I am obviously not a professional, I'm just interested in psychology and here to educate. Oh, and my cat is here too, so yeah, hi. Depression is a mental disorder that can affect mood, energy, motivation, and other things. Just daily life. People with depression might constantly feel tired, empty, or numb. Even easy things like getting out of the bed can be very difficult for them. That's why when you tell people that you have depression, they always imagine a person laying in their bed all day, which can happen, but not every person with depression experiences it like this. Well, this was the most common kind of depression, but there are other people with depressions that seem really hyper and don't seem like they have depression at all. And if that sounded familiar for you, I encourage you to talk to a person you trust, maybe a friend or family, but don't do self-diagnosis, okay? Don't. Part 3 will be a disorder with many stereotypes, and that will be ADHD. Most people think ADHD is about not paying attention, but that's not really true. Hi, I'm Ash, and this is part 3 of Mental Disorders Explained. And a short reminder to not use my videos for self-diagnosis. I am not a professional, I'm just here to educate. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. What ADHD not is. For some reason, I don't know how other people think about this, but my mom always thought it's about wanting to be the center of attention. Like, no. It's about difficulty regulating attention and impulses. Some people with ADHD struggle to focus, while other people with ADHD can hyperfocus on things they like. It can affect school, organization, management, and self-esteem, even though when someone tries really hard and wants to be better at something. If I said something wrong, please just correct me. I don't want to spread misinformation or anything like that. And yeah, part 4 will be about bipolar disorders. One day happy, one day sad. Bipolar disorder. But no, that's not actually what it means. Hi, I'm Ash, and this is my cat Gina. And yeah, this is part 4 of Mental Disorders Explained. Before we get started, don't use my videos for self-diagnosis because I'm not a professional, I'm just here to educate. The mood swings aren't in short time, for example hours, they are longer episodes of moods. There are 3 main types that people talk about. Some things you need to understand before we get started. First off, mania. That means very high energy, little sleep, racing thoughts, impulsive decisions, and you can also get very easily irritated during these periods. And on the other side, depression. There's another video about it on my profile. Bipolar 1. Bipolar 1 contains an episode of mania for at least 7 days. And some depressive episodes too, but not everyone has them. Bipolar 2. Bipolar 2 contains at least 1 depressive episode and symptoms of hypomania, a slightly milder version of mania, that have at least lasted for 4 days. And then we got cyclothymia. That means you've experienced both hypomanic and depressive mood episodes over the time of 2 years. Never forget, no one feels exactly the same way, even if both of them are diagnosed with the same disorder. Thank you for watching, and the next part will be about borderline personality disorder. What if your emotions were always turned up too loud? Hi, I'm Ash. This is part 5 of Mental Disorders Explained. Today, borderline personality disorder. And quick reminder to not use my videos for self-diagnosis because I obviously am no professional. Borderline personality disorder, also known as BPD, mainly affects emotions, sense of self, and relationships. How it can feel. They can feel their emotions more intense, and small situations can be overwhelming, even though the reaction might seem too much from the outside. Mostly, it's just a fear of abandonment, sadness, or anger. Most of the time, they're reacting to unmanageable emotions and not trying to hurt anyone. BPD is often linked to long-term emotional stress or trauma, but with help, people with BPD can improve a lot over time. So the conclusion is, if someone has BPD, their emotions don't define them. They need understanding and not judgment. So yeah, this was part 5, and actually I don't know if I'm gonna make more videos like this, but if you want me to, let me know. Bye. Someone asked for this, so I'm gonna make a part 6 of Mental Disorders Explained. This time, alexithymia. Alexithymia is not a mental disorder itself. It's more of a trait that makes it hard to identify and describe your own emotions, even though you have emotions but you can't describe them. And I used to misconcept it with apathy. Apathy is actually feeling very little emotions. Alexithymia is not understanding them. Instead of feeling sad or angry, you might just feel overwhelmed, tense, or empty. You also might know something is wrong, but not why. It is common in people with anxiety, depression, autism, or trauma, but anyone can have it. Thank you for listening, and also this video was for explanation, not for diagnosis. If you have any requests what I should talk about next time, feel free.